The intriguing world of light pollution. When we close our eyes at night, artificial lights keep illuminating the world around us. But have you ever stopped to wonder, how much are we lighting up the world at night? Or, what might be the cost of all this lighting? In many parts of the world, we've become so accustomed to bright nights that we rarely consider what this artificial light might be doing to the world around us. Are you ready for a startling fact that you won't find anywhere else? Light pollution, a term most people have never even heard of, isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a growing problem with serious consequences for both our environment and our health. Light pollution occurs when artificial light is used excessively or in the wrong places at the wrong times. It's a form of pollution that's often overlooked because we don't associate light with environmental harm. However, as we'll soon discover, light pollution is a real environmental issue that affects not only the natural world but also our own well-being. From overlit streets to glowing billboards, light pollution comes in many forms, but the consequences are far-reaching and profound. Let's dive into the fascinating world of light pollution and explore why it's such a significant issue today. By the end of this journey, you'll not only understand what light pollution is, but also how we can prevent it from damaging our world any further. The sources and impacts of light pollution. To understand light pollution, it's important to look at where it comes from. Our modern cities are filled with bright lights that keep the night sky glowing even in the darkest hours. From streetlights to parking lot illuminations, from neon signs to brightly lit advertisements, the sources of light pollution are everywhere. But the consequences go far beyond a brighter night sky. Let's start with human health. Did you know that artificial light can disrupt your body's natural rhythms? Melatonin, a hormone that regulates our sleep, is produced in response to darkness. When we're exposed to too much artificial light, especially at night, it interferes with melatonin production, which can lead to a host of health problems. Lack of melatonin can cause sleep disorders, fatigue, irritability, and in the long run, increase the risk of serious conditions like diabetes, obesity, breast cancer, and prostate cancer. But the impact on our health doesn't end there. Extended exposure to artificial light can strain our eyes, leading to vision problems and even long-term eye damage. This is particularly concerning for older individuals, whose eyesight may already be deteriorating. Now, let's talk about the environment. Light pollution isn't just a human problem. It affects all forms of life. Plants and animals, which rely on natural light cycles for their survival, are often the most affected. For example, plants use light to regulate their growth cycles, but artificial light can confuse these cycles, stunting their growth and impacting entire ecosystems. Animals, too, suffer from the consequences of light pollution. Migratory species like birds and sea turtles are especially vulnerable. Birds often navigate by the stars, but artificial lights can cause them to lose their way, sometimes with fatal consequences. Sea turtles, on the other hand, rely on the darkness of the shore to safely lay their eggs. When beachfront areas are lit up by human-made lights, it can interfere with this crucial process, affecting not just individual species, but entire ecosystems. It's not just land animals that are affected by light pollution. Marine life, too, faces challenges. Artificial lights near coastlines can disorient sea creatures, such as baby sea turtles that rely on the moon and stars to guide them safely to the ocean. Instead, they become confused and may head inland, where they face danger and often death. This disruption in the natural behavior of one species can have cascading effects throughout the food chain, disrupting the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. How light pollution affects science and the economy. Light pollution doesn't just hurt the environment and our health, it also has major implications for science and the economy. One of the most affected fields is astronomy. For astronomers, both professional and amateur, the glow of artificial lights makes it increasingly difficult to observe the night sky. Stars that were once clearly visible are now hidden behind a blanket of artificial brightness, and dim celestial objects, like distant galaxies or nebulae, are often invisible from light-polluted areas. The brightness of the night sky not only diminishes the beauty of the stars, but also hampers the ability of scientists to make important astronomical discoveries. Light pollution reduces the quality of the data gathered during astronomical observations. Researchers depend on clear, dark skies to study the universe, but with the encroaching glow of cities, they are forced to conduct their observations far from urban centers, often in remote, isolated areas. This is not only inconvenient, but also expensive. Many research facilities have been relocated to places like the deserts of Chile or the mountains of Hawaii, where the sky is still relatively dark. But as light pollution spreads, even these once pristine areas are becoming affected. The economic impact of light pollution is another serious concern. According to studies, as much as one-third of all outdoor lighting is wasted, meaning that the electricity used to power these lights is not being used efficiently. This wasted energy costs billions of dollars each year. Streetlights, for example, often illuminate areas that don't need lighting, such as the sky or empty roads. By properly directing lights and using energy-efficient bulbs, we could significantly reduce energy consumption and save money. The financial cost of light pollution extends beyond the electricity used. The production of electricity, especially from fossil fuels, contributes to air pollution and climate change, further compounding the environmental toll of light pollution. Solutions for reducing light pollution. So, what can we do to combat this growing issue? Thankfully, there are several steps we can take to reduce light pollution, and many of them are relatively simple. One of the most effective solutions is to use lights only when and where they are needed. Motion sensors and timers can help ensure that lights are only on when necessary, which not only reduces light pollution, but also saves energy. Another important measure is to switch to energy-efficient light bulbs. LEDs, for example, use less energy and can be directed more precisely to avoid unnecessary lighting of the sky. Another crucial step is to use outdoor lighting that points downward instead of upward or sideways. Many streetlights, floodlights, and building lights cast light in all directions, much of which is wasted. By using lights that are designed to illuminate only the ground below them, we can drastically reduce the amount of light that escapes into the night sky. Education is also a key part of the solution. The more people understand the harmful effects of light pollution, the more likely they are to take steps to reduce it. Governments and local communities can also play a role by passing regulations that limit excessive outdoor lighting and promote energy-efficient alternatives. Conclusion and call to action. In conclusion, light pollution is a widespread issue that affects human health, the environment, science, and the economy. But it's not too late to take action. By making small changes in how we use and design lighting, we can make a big difference in reducing light pollution. It's time to think about the long-term impact of our actions and work together toward a brighter but more sustainable future. If you found this topic interesting and want to learn more, make sure to subscribe to True Stories and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and help spread the word about the importance of reducing light pollution. Together, we can make the night skies dark again, for ourselves and for future generations.